and welcome back to another video on the WrestleMania and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And of course, it's a big episode of Dynamite this week because it is the last episode of AEW Dynamite before Revolution, built as Sting's final Dynamite. And yeah, there's a lot going on. Obviously, we get our last build to the card here. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Hangman opened the show walking to the ring with the use of a crutch. He said he could not be able to compete at Revolution, which led to Swerve and Prince Nana coming out. Swerve said he respects everything Page has done in AEW, but it's about time to be champion, which brought out Samoa Joe. As Swerve yelled at Joe, Page attacked him with a clutch and revealed that he was not injured after all. The ruse was done well, but there were some signs it wasn't real. Either way, a solid opening to the show and a good way to hype their match up. Page was convincing on an emotional level. But yeah, I think some fans definitely noted online that there was a doctor would have told him to use the crutch on the other side, so maybe there were telltale signs. But you know, in kayfabe, you'll have to say it's a pretty decent opening segment with the way Swerve fell for it and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, it worked quite nicely. But moving on into the first match, FTR and Eddie Kingston versus the BCC. And yeah, two Revolution matches combined into one. The Man King and the American Dragon started for their teams. But the latter quickly tagged out to Castagnoli to taunt Kingston. As anyone would expect, this was a high energy match with a steady pace, lots of strikes and some good brawling moments. They exceeded the average AEW trios bout in many ways. All six guys are renowned for different reasons, so it was no surprise that they all work well together here, especially since many of them have previous history as rivals. Kingston has feuded with every member of the opposing team on his own. Everyone worked their asses off here to make sure the live crowd got good show despite all six men being booked on the pay-per-view, and they did not take it easy, with Danielson getting a win by making Kingston pass out. So yeah, like I said, this was really good stuff, and yeah, let's say 7 out of 10 from me. Next up on the card, we saw Orange Cassidy taking on Nick Wayne. Will Ospreay came out to talk about officially being done with our obligations and being all elite. Don Callis came out with Hobbs and Takeshita before that though. Ospreay wasn't excited and had a standoff with Takeshita. It never turned into a fight. So yeah, it seems like that's the direction we're going in at Revolution. And yeah, I don't know, it's an interesting one. Can't imagine Ospreay staying with the Don Callis family for too long, but we'll have to see where it goes. Before, the challenger, Nick Wayne, was aggressive out of the gate and took OC down with a headlock takeover. Mama Wayne got the rest of the group thrown out, so her son only had to rely on. As soon as Cassidy won, Strong attacked him out of nowhere. Best friends in the Undisputed Kingdom were also involved, but most of their involvement had no impact on the outcome, so I'll give it 6 out of 10. I think we all knew what was going to happen. Nice heel attempt from Nick Wayne, and obviously the stuff from the outside made sense. But yeah, fairly basic win. Before moving on to Chris Statlander against Sky Blue, Blue and Statlander wasted no time getting to the ring, getting to the work when the bell rang. Willow Nightingale, Stokely Hathaway and Julia Hart were all around the ring. There was a surprisingly physical sprint of a match. It never felt like they slowed down unless they needed to sell for a moment. Hathaway ended up inadvertently distracting the ref long enough for Hart to knock Statlander out of the blue so Blue could get the win. Both competitors looked good in this bout, but some of the shenanigans at ringside unfortunately took it down a notch. So yeah, I think for me that kind of really took away from it in a way that wasn't great. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, I think. Chris Jericho then brought his Lionheart persona back for a match against Atalantis Jr., who succeeded as one of Veterans Mentors and partners. Atalantis Sr. was at ringside. The match started with Atalantis slapping him instead of shaking his hands. He immediately had the upper hand and hit several moves on Lionheart before he could regroup and grab him in the walls with Jericho, but they were too close to the ropes. You could see Atalantis moving slower than usual spots to compensate for Jericho no longer being a young luchador, but they had decent chemistry, so it wasn't a bad match. Jericho won by submission with a Lion Tamer when Senior threw the towel in, and they posed together after the match. For me, yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't a mind-blowingly great match as you'd expect for a match of, you know, their experience and veteran status, but I thought it was really good throwback. And yeah, Jericho getting the win's the right decision. So yeah, for what it was, I thought it was entertaining. And yeah, before Dynamite went off air, we had Darby Allin and Ric Flair both trying to attack the Young Bucks, but they used bats to get the advantage. When Sting finally showed up, it was lowered down from the rafters and created a great moment to end the show. Which is obviously going to lead us to Revolution, Sting's final match. So I thought a really good way for Sting to bow out of, Dynamite and weekly TV. So yeah, great end to the show as well. And overall, Dynamite this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought a really good episode of Dynamite this week, I have to say. Yeah, the final build for Revolution is exactly what we want. Got loads of high caliber angles, and still, like on Go Home shows, we saw some good quality matches, which I feel sometimes doesn't happen as well. So yeah, good stuff. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.